Hello and welcome to the Life is Storytelling podcast. I'm your host, Chris Pierce, joined by my co-host, Ernest Gonzalez. Ernest, how you doing today, bud?
Very good, sir. Very good. Couple frustrating moments, but like it's still all everything worked out,
Hey, man,
you know?
tomorrow's Friday. Tomorrow's Friday.
Yeah. Today, I've been saying all week that like today felt like a Friday.
Hmm.
Not all week. As
For sure,
of
yesterday.
Wednesday, I was like, tomorrow should be a Thursday. Like today should be a Thursday and tomorrow should be Friday. And like
Yeah.
it's just been a whole thing. And it's crazy that I have to work again tomorrow. It
It's
just
okay.
feels that way
We're
right
gonna get the
now.
finish line
But
together, buddy. We're gonna be there.
even then, it should be a chill day. It's gonna be good.
Cool.
So
There you go.
I think it's human nature. Like you need something to complain about.
True.
Like everybody has to complain about something, even me.
Yeah,
And like but things are still good. I can't fight it. You
it's
know.
fair. It's fair.
So
And yeah, I
why would I
definitely have
want
something
to?
we're
Why
complaining
would I
about.
want
But today is February 19th of 2026. Today is going to be a Gamescast as we do have a piece of gaming news to go over. And then the primary thing, our main event today, is going to be reviewing a game me and Ernest went through literally the night before recording this. We beat Reanimal.
to?
Multiplayer. It is made by the people that made Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Obviously, not part of the studio anymore. They have their own thing going on, but this is their first venture like this, and yeah, we're gonna get into it. Full spoilers, and we'll go into that when we get there too. But because we did get the secret ending, which is just your normal ending with one extra cutscene. But before we get to that, we got to talk about some bad news. So as of today, Blue Point Studios, a studio like anytime somebody says, "Hey, let's remake this." Let's remake this. There has been the rumors for so long about Metal Gear Solid 1 being fully remade from the ground up by Blue Point Studios. We don't know if that's going to be a thing or if that was ever going to be part of the plan or if we just started that on our own. I don't know.
That's what it feels like to me. Is that like we just created that?
And that's the thing. That's where a lot of rumors do end up starting with just gamers talking about it. And then one guy's like, "I'm going to say this is happening," and then people are going to follow me on Twitter, and then it just spreads. And sometimes it works, and that's the problem. But regardless of that, Blue Point Studios is shut down as of today, February 19th. PlayStation just cut it. There may be some moving some folks around or whatnot, but it is a money saving situation where they're just cutting his team to not cutting a studio under them to not do the thing anymore. And yeah, so they're gone. And regardless of shuffling people around, I guarantee you there's at least a chunk of these people that did lose their jobs here. And regardless of like, yeah, if you look down their list of things that they're known for, you're not going to see like a new thing, like a new IP or whatnot. But and we've talked about this on the show a lot. Game preservation is very, very important. Again, these are works of art, and they put an artful touch on making a lot of these from the ground up or putting collections together so they're not stuck on just an old console that you now have to spend like $200 for and then like have an old TV to even plug in. Um, so it really sucks, man. Like we haven't gotten anything recently. The most recent thing we've heard of that was like being worked on by them that was going to happen was a live service God of War game, and like I guess we should have like I mean we kind of have like the whole live service initiative by PlayStation, which I mean the face of that is Concord, unfortunately. Um, it just has not gone great, and it just continues to trickle down. We talk about Ubisoft, obviously, because they're not necessarily as big as PlayStation, but just like they keep stumbling. Ubisoft keeps stumbling. We keep getting literally another story today. There were more layoffs today, and there will be more. They every story is part of that. But PlayStation acquired Bluepoint 4 years ago. Everyone was sharing the photo because whenever PlayStation acquires a studio, they share this banner that says "Welcome to the family," and it's just like, oh, oof, oof. And they never actually released anything under the PlayStation banner, which is insane. Like, use your people, man. Use your folks. God, dude, I just hope Team Asobi keeps kicking with the fucking Astrobots. Because, good
Do we
lord,
know how long they were working on the God of War live service game?
that I don't know. Like how long that was taken. So I would have.
Like
So it would have had to have been within 4 years.
I wonder if that was like their whole work,
It might have been.
Like they're just doing that the whole time I
Yeah.
guess it didn't look good or something, so they canceled it.
Right.
And then what, like, you just been funding this thing that led to nothing.
Right.
Maybe that's why. But
Which is
like it,
similar
I mean,
to
it's always unfortunate for the people that are going through it, but like,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's rough. That's rough. So
Because
like,
similar to the
you
Last of
know,
Us
you
situation,
brought
because
on for a
obviously
project.
they had the multiplayer thing going on over there that they canceled. Obviously, Naughty Dog a bit bigger. I do not know the manpower, like how many people work at either studio. It's just, I mean, Naughty Dog's an older studio, and obviously they've been doing their own thing for quite some time. But yeah, the whole live service push, the online push, it's been interesting. I'm not. We're obviously not here saying we have any answer for anything. We're not business folk. Um,
Hmm.
and there's stuff behind doors that we don't just don't know. But yeah, what are you
But
gonna
it just sucks when people in the industry,
do? Yeah,
because it's especially because it's been happening so much.
that's the other part. Yeah, it just and
Yeah.
because Blue Point, it feels so out of nowhere. Like if you read the posts, whether you go to like Video Game Chronicle, you go to Game Informer, you go to anybody, like a lot of the posts start with seemingly out of nowhere, Blue Point's been shut down, and it's just like it sucks. It really does suck because honestly,
Yeah.
and I don't know how much we've talked about it, but like honestly, remake more games. We champion obviously we champion like I was just saying, game preservation, but like that Demon Souls remake. That was my first time going all the way through. I did start the PS3 one with Justin, and it was so old. I was like, no, it's like I can't do this. This is so old. Um, and then they fully remade it in just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Because there was a time where that kind of remake was also like, oh, dude, it's Bloodborne. It's never gonna happen, and it was so cool to see, and it was so
um,
flawed.
so I do appreciate the remakes where it is built from the ground up and there's like improvements made on like movement and
Yeah,
stuff like this.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
there are some of those even built from the ground up where you don't see too much of an improvement from the original gameplay to the
Metal Gear
new
Solid
stuff,
Delta.
or like, or right, or like
Yeah.
sometimes the voice acting, maybe it's just the way it's written or something, gets me. But
Mhm.
like but I do appreciate like getting to play older games that I didn't have hands on with. Like you
Right,
said, like Dark Souls. I mean, not Dark Souls.
Demon
Demon
Souls.
Souls is one of the best. It's fantastic. That has to be one of the best remakes I've ever
And it's
played. You
beautiful.
know, and it, like you, it was my first time through. You played again with me,
Yep.
you and Justin. So,
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, yeah, I had a great time on that. And even after playing, because that was the last Souls game that we played together. Like
Oh, that's right. We started with Bloodborne.
we played Bloodborne, and then we played all of the Dark Souls,
Hmm.
and then we played Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I think we finished
So we did.
Dark Souls 3
So in the middle
right
of the Dark
before
Souls
Elden Ring.
trilogy, we stopped for Elden Ring because it was releasing around that time.
That's
Because
right. That's right.
we got you
Yes.
hooked on the sauce, and it's like we
Right,
got to
right,
do
right.
this.
Yeah.
And we were like, "Are
Yeah,
we gonna
man.
get Soulsborne out?" Nah, dude, let's go. And we did it. We did it, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and we didn't either. And we got all the ways
Oh yeah.
after Elden Ring, we made it back around for like Demon Souls and stuff like that.
And Sekiro.
Planet Sekiro, let's
There you go.
go.
There you go.
And yeah, man, yeah, it was such a good time, and like what a finale, even though it was like smaller because it
Yeah,
is an
of
older game.
course.
Games just used to be shorter, y'all. That's just the way
It's
it
true.
was.
It's true.
Like, yeah, unless like it was like a JRPG or something, like it
Right.
was going to be short.
Right.
And you can only fit so much on that cartridge,
That's true.
on that
But
early
some of those
CD and
people, they
stuff.
just made some really impressive things on there, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
But
just unfortunate.
yeah, it is. It is. Because, like I said, there's some remakes out there that I don't feel, and mostly I want new IPs, like more than anything.
Yeah, for sure.
But like I do appreciate a good remake, and they like really set the bar with that one. It would have been interesting to see like original stuff that they could do as well. Um,
Well,
but I guess
now,
now we don't get to know.
so here's the thing, and this is what happens. What's going to happen now is I'm sure a studio is going to open up, whether they do it or they join with somebody else. Or it's not going to be all of them. It's never that situation,
Mm,
unfortunately.
yeah, yeah.
But we're going to see some head people probably from here either start their own thing, join somebody else, start their own thing, or join one of these other studios that are newer. and we're gonna get a game releasing, being like from some of the developers that worked on the Demon Souls remake
And
and
then
stuff
it's
like that.
like fucking Expedition 33 of Dark Souls or
Right?
whatever. Like it's gonna be
Yeah.
some crazy
Because
stuff.
we
Yeah,
the
man.
work is not erased, and I do think that's so important. And again,
Mhm.
because I'm right there with you. We love our new IPs, and they're so important. But I cannot stress enough. So are these from the ground remakes? Because I know one you were casting shade at a little bit ago was Silent Hill 2.
I
Um,
didn't say
granted, that's
nothing,
not Blue
bro.
Point. Granted,
I
that's
was just
not Blue
saying a
Point.
thing.
All love to
I
Bloober.
didn't say that. You said
I know, but I knew immediately what you're talking about. When it's like maybe it's just the way it was written. You dare say I don't know if it was the performance. The actor who played James was up for performance of the year that year. You monster.
yeah,
Um,
I didn't know.
regardless. Oh, dude, for the record, when you
I'm
get towards
just
the
kidding.
back
I'm
half, a
just
lot more
kidding.
emotional
I'm
stuff
sorry.
happens for him. No, you're
I'm
not.
sorry. Come on
It's
the
okay.
show.
It's okay. Um, but regardless, again, that's Bloober Team, and then along with that, we have Capcom remaking these Resident Evils, and we had actually bad example, Dead Space remake. We're not getting another one of those for maybe ever. Unfortunately, screw you, EA. And then obviously, like we were just talking about, Bloober with Silent Hill, and and then we had the Blue Point stuff, and there's others out there. Like I mean, Pokemon Company be making I mean, Game Freak be making those remakes of older Pokemon games as well. And the good thing about most of these, not necessarily all the Pokemon ones, but the other ones I was listing is they're making remakes that are good enough to be the point of like, hey, this is the way to play it. Like Ernest, we were talking about Resident Evil just the other day, and I'm like, dude, Resident Evil 2 remake, bam.
Yeah.
There, there is a love for that original too, and dude, respect. All right, you love your tank controls, you keep them. I don't want to ever do that again. I don't ever want to go back to that. I respect you and what you like to go through, but no. um, but yeah, and it's just to say that like if they're quality, dude, there's such a good reason to have them around, and yeah, it's just unfortunate because Blue Point, dude, again, Demon Souls is one of those still one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen on a console. And obviously, if you haven't played it, I recommend go playing it because again, that's the definitive way to play that for sure, for sure. Screw you,
Yeah. Don't play
PS2.
the old one. Why would you do
Yeah, why
that?
would you do that to yourself? Why would
Yeah.
you do that to yourself? I get no hate, but still. But yeah, just wanted to bring that up. That popped out today, and I was like, man, I'd rather talk about this here for a little bit before we get into our review than anything else. But let us know what y'all think about it, and if you think like, because my thing is, it's a money printing machine. Just remake your stuff. Just keep like in the background. Just remake the things. Yeah,
But let me say though, like remake old stuff too. Don't
that's what I'm saying.
I'm like, but sometimes it's done too quickly. I
Oh
feel
no,
like
yeah. So to be fair, Blue Point had nothing to do with any of these Last of Us remasters or the newest
right.
version of Horizon Forbidden Dawn. Yeah, no. I completely agree with you on there. Because yeah, that stuff is ridiculous.
Like
Please
don't
stop.
remake your game is from a few years ago.
Right,
Remake the
like,
old games that aren't available on this system and stuff
and
like
so
that.
that's
You
my
know what I
thing.
mean? Like
That's
that's
my
the way
thing.
to
Yeah,
go. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Shadow of the Colossus? Their version of it?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah. I
yeah.
played the original. I
Okay,
didn't
I
play
never did. I only played the remake.
the remade one. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic. Obviously, the story was already there. The core is there. It's great stuff.
And I'm sure
Um,
the remake's like beautiful
it is
and
beautiful.
plays well and
It's great
everything
stuff.
because the original already did that.
Right.
So if they
Exactly.
improved on that, it must be like amazing.
100%.
I'm sure.
100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, remakes are important. I don't ever when people are just like, "Oh, dude, remakes are gonna make it so we never get new IP or new things, new this." No, like, no, we need both. We
Mhm.
100% need new IP
And
and
and like
remakes.
you said though, like I really like of course we always wish them the best, but like I hope they do go forward to like stay in the industry, keep
Yeah.
working and like put out
Oh yeah.
because like one of the ways to get new IPs, and this is not the way I want it to happen. Let me say
Right.
that. But one of the ways to
Make
get
the
new
best of the bad
IPs, like
situation.
because we've seen it now,
Mhm.
like is these people get let go from wherever they leave like willingly and then
Mhm.
they go start their own thing and make amazing games and I
Right.
hope that happens for these people. Yeah.
Like because to my knowledge there were not layoffs at CD Projekt Red. I don't know. But former Witcher devs are making that vampire game. Something Dawn
Right.
Walker, Blood of the Dawn Walker. I might be making that
Yeah.
up. But
The
you know what
Dom
game
one.
I'm talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And that's
Yeah.
that's cool.
Awesome.
Cool stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And
When's that
again,
coming out? When's that coming out? Yeah.
2026. I don't know, but I don't know about a date. There might be a date. but it's this year, except for this year. Yeah, it looks very cool. And see,
Oh,
hopefully we can talk about talk like this about the people who unfortunately lost their jobs today. But again, we know
right.
it's hard out there to an extent. Like if this many layoffs are happening, obviously everyone's wanting the job back. Other positions are filling up. And also just like the what this has to do for your mentality to work in this industry, dude, morale's got to be at an all-time low.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know how long stuff like this has been going on. Like, we live in an age now where we get news on all of this stuff.
True,
Um,
true, true,
I'm
true.
not sure that was like printed in the newspapers
But
back
it's
in
been
the day
happening
or
for at
anything
least
like that.
three, like two and a half to three, a good chunk of our
Oh
podcast
no, yeah,
time.
we've been on a run here where
Yeah,
it's just been tough. I
and
think
to
ever
be fair,
since
like
COVID, it just started
pandemic
being
had a
really
yeah,
out there.
right,
Yeah, yeah. Um, and I mean, part of it might be the industry like bouncing back from COVID still. Like, that was a weird year. Even though a lot of people played video games, it was tough to make new ones and stuff.
right.
Um,
But yeah, I don't know, man.
and
I don't know.
yeah, yeah, it's crazy out here, dude.
It's
It's
crazy.
crazy.
It's crazy. But
Yeah.
let's shift gears here. Again, all the respect to Blue Point and everyone who worked there. We wish you the best. Uh, but it's time to shift gears to a new game, new release. We played through it. I played through it last weekend with Justin, and then I played through it last night, before the night before recording this, with Ernest here. So I've seen the ending twice. Got the secret ending with Ernest last night. We were talking about Reanimal. This is very much a. I guess we could call them Little Nightmares likes. I don't know what else you would call these, because they're very much their own thing.
Mhm.
Um, where
Like the
you're
little
just
co-op multiplayer thing where you're tiny and everything's
so the
big.
co-op multiplayer thing is new because that didn't get introduced to Little Nightmares 3. 1 and 2 were completely solo.
Mm, got you. Where you're a
Um,
little person and everything's big then? Is that what you mean?
in a horror universe, yes. Yeah. And it's like you have a decent bit of platforming. There's some little parts of action, and then also little bits of puzzles here and there. It's just a variety of different things kind of put together to give you a like nice little haunted house horror experience that we can now. They should all just be multiplayer now. Now that Little Nightmares 3 has done it, now that we have Reanimal doing it, just make them like that. Granted, okay, you could easily make a really good, obviously solo player one. We wouldn't be here without the solo one, but because you've never played any of the Little Nightmares, right? Right. So this is your first experience with one of these. Um,
Correct.
so perfect. Then there we go.
Yeah.
I played the first one.
And now I don't know if I should go back to Little Nightmares at all
Oh yeah,
because like the way you and Justin say it, like this one is like peak.
3. We were talking about 3.
So not this is not better than 1 and 2.
So I don't. So I will say I didn't beat 2. I need to go
Okay.
back to 2. Little Nightmares one's really good, but it's in the sense of like the first thing that came to mind. You and me will never list Kronos as our favorite Del Toro movie,
Right.
but by God, do we have an appreciation for it because
That's
it's not
such a good
gimmick.
movie.
Yeah,
Go see Kronos from
go see
Guillermo del
Kronos and don't
Toro.
watch
It's so good.
No, yeah, yeah.
Mimic.
Kronos is really good. Kronos is really good. But it's very much like that. I will,
Yeah.
with the exception of like it doesn't feel dated at all. Granted, they did release a PS5 version last year, along with the release of Little Nightmares 3. So that might even be better. But yeah, Little Nightmares 1 very solid. I hear great things about 2. I've played through a chunk of it. It's scary. It's very scary. But yeah, dude, Reanimal, we're here, we're in it. Me and Justin did play through Little Nightmares 3. So, in regards to that one specifically, I don't think you're missing out on anything. It is cool. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. I do have a review of it on our socials from last year where I gave it a 7. It's good. Um, it's like it's almost very good, but the very good part was mainly me and Justin yelling at each other. So it's just what it is, and it is.
That's how
Um,
you know it's getting tough though, you
for
know?
sure, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
We'll talk about some of the things like I know I've already shared with you offline, like one specific feature I would have liked in Reanimal. But Ernest, we're here, man. Reanimal, our first like multiplayer review of the. Oh no, we did High Guard. Our first multiplayer
Yeah.
campaign
Yeah.
of the year.
Yeah,
Ernest,
yeah,
give
yeah.
me some thoughts on Reanimal. Give me a score.
Yeah, like co-op in the traditional sense, right?
There you go. There you
But
go.
So I had a really good time.
Hell yeah.
The good time that I had definitely had to do with like the story, the way that it unravels, the world that you're in, and all the horror aspects to it,
Hell
both
yeah.
the jump scares and the suspense that's built throughout. There, the gameplay felt really easy, and
Yeah.
that's never necessarily a bad thing, but um I don't know. I was ready to compare it to like what's the name of it? The two girls that are authors
Oh, it
came out
not
last
It
year.
Takes Two. Split Fiction.
Not yes, Split Fiction. I was ready to compare it to that, like in its gameplay and stuff. And I think I set the bar too high, and I had to
Right.
bring it
That
down
one
a little
definitely has
bit.
more going gameplay wise.
Right, right, right. And just because it is that like couch co-op
Yeah.
situation, and I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have like set that bar. And I realized that I was able to realize that like a chapter or two into it
Yeah.
and adjust my mindset to enjoy it,
Mhm.
and the world and the horror and the story and everything like that really helped me get right back into it, so it wasn't too much of a problem. um and yeah, I just had such a good time just yelling with you and like with you and yell. We were more yelling out of like fear,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
which I
For
loved
sure.
because
Ah!
like even when yeah, because even though like you knew some of that stuff was gonna pop out, it's still
Yeah, it's still, dude. Yeah,
intense
yeah, yeah.
though. Yeah, yeah, for
That's great
sure.
mood setting, man. Yeah, it's
It's
atmosphere.
like, you still jump at like horror movies that you've
Yeah.
seen and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Some of this stuff is just built that way. And this does a great job of it. Not only, like I said, in the jump scares, but also with just setting the tone for that horror.
Oh yeah.
Like sometimes it's slow, it's sneaking around this threatening enemy and stuff. And those situations I loved, even though it's like hide behind the thing, don't let it see you. Like that's a good enough mechanic to build that suspense
Yeah.
and make you feel like, oh, this thing is going to kill me.
Especially when you're
Like
hiding
it's
behind something
crazy.
that's moving with the thing you're hiding from.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, it's messed up, man. And
yeah.
this game as a whole is messed up. Like the
Very.
story is
So
so
all the
dark.
trigger
It's so
warnings,
gritty.
so many
Yes.
trigger warnings,
All
especially
of
for
them. All of
self-harm,
them.
some really dark things.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, absolutely. And a lot of that like caught me off guard. Like I was
yeah.
in shock for a good part of
They don't
like
hide
that
it.
chapter
It is
specifically.
in
Not
your
at all.
face. Yeah.
It is. It is. So yeah, mad trigger warnings, but like but that stuff is just gnarly to me,
Yeah.
and it only added to the atmosphere. It intensified it that much.
Hell yeah.
Um I had a really good time with it. I want to give it an 8.5.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Very like great game.
Mhm.
Very nearly like a top tier one. But again, there was an instance of me being ready for like, all right, let's get this co-op going, baby. But
Yeah.
like, and I know there's an option to like play through with an AI and
There
stuff like
is,
that.
which is
And like
great. That should also be a
they're able
thing
to like
on
go
here.
through. It is. That's fantastic. But like it kind of like solidifies in my mind that like, while it's probably better with a person, like
Oh,
talking
for
with
sure.
somebody and working with them and
Yeah.
stuff, like it doesn't have to be a co-op situation. I was so excited for the co-op stuff and
Yeah.
like the figuring out the puzzles and everything. And I know some of it is because you
I had
had
already
like
gone through
played
it.
through it
Yeah.
already. Like the plunger thing would have took me a while to figure
Right.
out.
Right. Justin found that for me. I
But
was like, yeah, yeah.
most other things I feel
Yeah.
are pretty like simple to get through,
Mhm.
and I think I did it to myself. I will take 100% of the blame.
That's
This
okay.
is a great
Yeah.
game, like I said, but like I was ready for a little bit more of a challenge too.
Yeah.
So
No, dude, I completely get it.
yeah,
So my expectation obviously very tempered because again, these are the original devs of the Little Nightmare games. The only thing that was missing for me was like there's not a button that makes you grab things. Like you will auto grab onto things. And that sounds so small because you are small. But yeah, and when you're going through it, because I immediately was like, oh, that's going to take away like a big challenge part of it. And there are some things that kind of feel like you're on a trip going on rails, like on a little roller coaster. Because it is
and
very
we
slow.
like walking simulators and stuff like that too.
Yes.
It's like what was the game in the office?
Oh, Stanley Parable.
Yeah, Stanley
Yeah,
Parable. You want me to play Exit 8 and stuff like that, and of course, those aren't the most difficult game. Like you're literally walking.
yeah.
But like, so like a great story can be told within. This is a great example of that,
Death Stranding's a
though, right?
walking simulator. But yeah, no.
The walking is a little difficult
For sure. No,
sometimes.
they make sure that
Yeah,
it's difficult for you to walk.
right, right, right.
But regardless of that, I'm gonna say right now, right off the bat, I also give it an 8.5. I think this is just it's above, it's between great and amazing. Um, and then obviously I would consider 10 like that masterpiece territory. I don't think it hits
Yeah,
quite there. I do think there are elements of this because there is just so much. I love the vagueness of this, and we'll get to that in a minute. Because really, the only real negative I have is the gameplay. It is very simple. You're right. There's not a lot of puzzles really to go through. The the offset of that is like we followed a guide to find these coffins to get the secret ending. And I will say, especially since I went through it with Justin, and having now seen where all the coffins are, um, they're well hidden. So you they're quite well hidden.
you got to
Um,
know that you're looking for them to be able to find all of them
Right.
for
And like
sure.
literally
Yeah,
one of them is like in the room of like one of your friends dying. And I'm like, okay, Ernest, I know we saw a guy get dropped in the pit, but come with me. And you're like, what? What? I was like,
yeah.
come
Like
on.
I was all traumatized and
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah,
and then Chris was
yeah.
like, "I know that you need to like feel these feelings and stuff, but we got to go in this
But
room
walk
right
with me
here." And I
over
was like,
here. Yeah, yeah,
"What
yeah.
the heck, dude?"
So like in terms of that and like these little critters that you can beat up to get the masks off of, the like the hidden extra goodies. I do think that there's a good bit of the touch there that maybe we could have gotten a little bit more with like the actual puzzles. The one exemption I will give is I do think the puzzle for getting the live rounds to power up this cannon to shoot this big creature. I think that was great. When you look at that, because especially I went through it a bit more organically with Justin. We got on that island before we got to the place where you and me input the code, and we're like, "What is this on the back of this box? We know this has to mean something." But what? And we tried to fire the cannon. We had only empty shells, and Justin's like, I think we need live rounds, but how do we get that? I don't know. Ah, and it's just the whole thing. And that stuff is really cool. And like the different areas of the game are so different. Like even though like there's a lot of parts like after that first chapter where it's just boat, 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 boat into a new
Yeah.
area, they managed to vary it up a good bit. Where like you get your
Bo- bo- bo.
harpoons, boop, 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 boop. Uh, now I'm listening to myself.
Bo-
But
bo- bo-
where
bo-
this
bo-
game
bo-
really, really goes, there is an artistic style to this that is just gorgeous. Obviously in the most gothic, horrifying sense,
Yeah.
but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game, and honestly, we had a couple of connectivity issues, though I don't know because literally like that
One
same
of them
night
was Justin.
I was like, Justin was having issues like not being able to connect to the
One of
internet at
them,
all.
Justin unplugged my Ethernet cord. Yeah,
Oh,
thinking that it
I
was his.
forgot that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
But
and then
then, but then after that, we were reconnected. We were good, and it
yeah,
dropped me like two more times. Yeah.
right, right, right. And then the one time with Justin, something happened is and it's thank God, thank you Reddit, because literally the puzzle I was just talking about where you have to pull activate a generator to set off all these switches to get those live rounds. We had accidentally died before like making that happen, and we had to start a new save. Luckily, when you start a new save, it just gives you the chapter select option. Awesome stuff. So we just had to go back like 2 minutes, get back in there, not die, and we were able to do it. But there was like a couple of minutes where we were like, "Oh, dude, I'm scared. I'm pretty scared right now." But yeah, it's awesome. But along with that, the where this really shines is again the visuals, but also the story. Uh, is it a story you're going to be able to tell your friends that's like, oh, this happened, this happened, this happened? Slight bits, but as you go further into the story, less.
Yeah, it's very open to interpretation,
Yeah,
and that's really one of
symbolism
the
all over the
best
place.
things about it.
Hell yeah.
Like this, the ending is just so strong in that it is so open. Like we don't mind a little bit of exposition.
Yeah.
There's like a good middle ground sometimes, of like, oh, you figure it out for yourself. Like we love that stuff. but having the tools to figure it out. And this really feels like it is jam packed full of hints and
Mhm.
things for you to interpret for yourself. I was looking out online, I know you did as well,
Yeah.
at some of the theories of like what the ending means and stuff like this. And it's really cool to see it go in so many different directions.
Yeah.
And because I have ideas about things that I didn't see out there, stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
man, yeah, I think it's the appropriate amount of like, well, what do you think this means?
Right. And it spawns conversation.
Yeah.
Not necessarily arguments, just conversation. And there's so many meaningful parts to this story because there's heart to it. There is pain, there is sorrow, as there always is in horror, and like there's meaning behind this stuff. And like obviously, we do see some very grotesque, horrible things take place. Some things of like, oh, these close group of friends, maybe they're not so close, or maybe you see it a different way. Maybe they're too close. I don't know. Um, but there's a lot of directions you can talk through with this. Whether you're like, oh, these are kids who did something horrible to a girl and they're trapped in hell dealing with that. That's an idea. And you know what? When you say that to me, I was like, I can see where you're coming from. You can be like, they're not in hell. This is all actually happening. It's just somebody's like they did this thing to this girl, and her rage is making this creature that is going to get her revenge and ultimately consume her as well. See where you're coming from too. Like then that's just two things. That's just two things. The other thing is like maybe they're just a bunch of little people just being crazy. Be face value, dude. Be face value. You do your MCU
Yeah.
stuff. But I do want to shout out. They are Tarsier Studios. Tarsier. Wanted to shout that out there so we could put that there because yeah, all the respect because I think they did a really good job with this. Um, it's a really good horror experience, man. I can't recommend it enough. Obviously, dude, like all the trigger warnings, they're there on the like the warning when you go purchase the game. But there is a whole army part that when you hear army stuff, I know, like in terms of a video game, you might, oh, that has to be the boring part. No, 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 not
Nah,
quite.
yeah. Think more like Full Metal Jacket type stuff.
Right, right. And for
Yeah.
you youngins, go watch Full Metal Jacket. It's a good movie. Um, but yeah, it's dark.
The first half.
It gets really dark. Um, but Ernest, in terms of like the vibe, the horror vibe, do you
Mhm.
do you think they delivered for you in terms of what you were
Oh,
expecting? Because obviously they didn't deliver for you in gameplay, but in terms of vibe, how'd that go?
yeah, no, and I think it's one of my favorite parts for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
The visuals, man, are just so well done. This is such a cinematic game.
Yeah.
Especially with the way that they control the camera. Sometimes there are some camera aspects that I didn't like a lot, like the passing back and forth between us.
Oh yeah, that
Um,
is an odd because it's
it,
clearly a
like
co-op choice that they made, but it's just
Right,
like yeah,
right. Like I'm controlling the camera and you're
I'm
driving and
driving the
stuff, and
boat.
it's
Yeah,
just like, yeah, why don't we just both have? I understand it's a couch co-op thing, but like if it's not, like
right.
why can't I just
Like
look
you
the way I
overthought a
want to
little
look
bit.
while
We
you
could have just
drive
switched
and
that.
stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Or like for there to be like more of a transition sometimes too, because there's parts where you'd be driving the boat and we would like turn a corner and then all of a sudden I can
Right,
look left and right
right,
and
right, right, right.
stuff, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
affecting both of us.
for sure.
So I don't know, but as far as like the way it actually looks, the scenes that they paint, like first walking into that forest and just seeing all the skins hanging from
Yeah.
the trees and stuff like that. Like when I was like, hold on 1 second, you were like, what, are you taking a screenshot? And I was like, no, I'm taking a bite because I
Because
was eating at the
yeah,
same
yeah.
time. But after you said that, I did take a screenshot.
It's
Absolutely.
so beautiful
It's
in the
so
worst
cool. Yeah.
way, but yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. And like it's a macabre or whatever,
Oh, for sure. Macabre is a very
um
good word for it. Yeah, yeah.
and like in that though, like there is so much beauty in that type of stuff, I
Yeah.
think. Like I love eyes all over the face and stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like
and
I'm
even
so
like in
down with
more of
that.
a sense of like
But
just natural beauty. Like there's this scene where you get into a barn, and before you get to the barn, you climb up this really long ladder, Metal Gear Solid 3 style. And when you get up there, there's just this field of like flowers, and it's still horror. Like it's still shaded. It's like a very like overcast day, like maybe it
And
just
because I
rained.
thought we were gonna get eaten by a bird in those
Right,
flowers,
right,
I
right. I
thought
was
we were
like,
gonna have to
Ernest, just
hide or
sneak up and
something, but
run
that's
through
not
the
what's going
thing.
on.
Yeah, I know you
And
would.
I was like crouching all in the flowers and
But it's
stuff
so pretty.
because
Yeah,
yeah.
it's so
Yeah, oh,
gorgeous.
it is beautiful. And then all that part with the lights too. Jesus, I
What
got
part with
those
the lights?
Govee lights on the back of my TV,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and like when it's like the flowers at the bottom and the sky on top, like my whole room at the top is blue and the whole bottom is like yellow
there
and
you
red and
go.
stuff. It was beautiful.
That's awesome.
Um, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
beautiful game, but like in that scary way, you
right.
know.
Like when people
If
tell
you're
Bloodborne is beautiful, and this is very much in that same
right,
style.
right, definitely, like that gothic tone to
Yeah,
it as well.
yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, that's one of my favorite parts of the game
hmm
for sure. It's hard to say, like, it's between that and deciphering the story, like the fun of deciphering the
yeah. No,
story,
for
like
sure.
with the person that you played with
Hell
and
yeah.
stuff. So
And now that
yeah,
because all three of us have played it, we can all discuss it. Um,
right.
and it's like there's nothing but theories out there. And I do really hope. I don't think it's gonna ruin it. It's like, man, like it's y'all's first outing without being under the Little Nightmares moniker. Spread what you got, but I would love to keep this vague. We don't need to know specifically, like, oh, this means this. We can David Lynch it, like elaborate on that. No, no, like,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like yeah, no, I don't think I will. No, which is great
I
because
think the
that
sheep
gives
control the people. Well,
right.
sheeps isn't a word.
It is
It's just
now.
sheep.
We are making it a word in 2026. Life, we have Peen Sucker and Sheeps. Look at
I'm gonna
us.
go bury my head in the backyard like like some ostriches.
Ostriches? I hate you. Never mind. We're not doing that anymore. Um, but yeah, man, this game very, very good. Again, obviously, we put it above great. That would just be a solid 8, and definitely recommend the multiplayer experience. Very solid. Obviously, there can be some improvements made in terms of like the staying connected, whatnot. And a couple of things were like, I know Ernest. There's a couple of times you're like, oh, I just saw you in the ground, stuff like
Oh
that,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's just like,
There
okay,
was a enemy like tackled me, and I thought they like took me off of the screen, and I
right.
just rubber banded back, and I was like, "What the hell is happening here?"
Ah!
Yeah, yeah. So a couple like small glitches and stuff,
Right.
but
But overall,
nothing game
nothing.
breaking.
Yeah, nothing game breaking. The closest
Except
thing.
when it kicked me out of the game, I guess.
Oh, fair. Because it just made it so you could.
It's kind of game
We'd
breaking.
have to come back to it.
Yeah,
And then outside of that, the thing that me and Justin experienced, granted, easy fix, but like shouldn't be a thing in the first place. So hopefully they get that fixed
yeah.
up too. But overall, again, so solid. When you get to the end of it, you're not thinking about the negatives or anything like that. You're just obviously at the point that point, you're just thinking about that ending. Um,
Especially because of the magnitude of that
the
ending is
magnitude of that, the madness of
it
that.
just throws like you feel like you might be getting answers, you're a little lost in the sauce, and then like it just throws more question marks at you.
And like in true defense of what you just said, like because literally the main reason I wanted to go through the secret ending, I was like, I want a little more context. No,
Right.
not at all. Not at all.
Doesn't clear up a damn thing. It's just
No,
like, what is happening even
no.
more?
But honestly, at that point, like the moment of like, oh, this is just more question marks. I'm happy with it. Like, dude,
Yeah.
do this. This is completely fine, and I love it. Because again, it's part of what. Because it's the beautiful thing about like because you're right, exposition's not a bad thing if you don't overdo it, and it's totally fine for us to be like, oh, this means this is that, but there is such a special quality to like the you get because it's an extra part of your participation in it, like what did you see in this.
Mhm.
um
Is and
but
it's also being trusted as the consumer, you
right,
know?
right,
Like and that feels good, man, even
that's
when it
great.
is by like a director or, a game
Yeah,
studio or whatever it is.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
you don't feel like I'm an idiot and need to explain every single little thing to me to
exactly,
not leave questions. Like it's fun to figure this stuff out sometimes, man.
yeah,
Especially that works so well in horror, especially,
100%,
it
100%,
works a lot in different scenarios as well, but horror is one of the main
yeah,
places where you can throw that in. And like I like when they show the killer coming back to life at the end
yeah.
of the movie, like, oh, we didn't know that was gonna happen. Like, let me think that maybe they did. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
but yeah, I love it. I love it, especially in this setting.
for sure. And you're absolutely right, especially because like there's a magic to horror. Like, and it's not always talked about, but like there is just an essence to it that when you get these moments of like you're creating part of the story in your own head, and the beautiful moment of like me and Ernest are exchanging ideas, one of us is like, oh dude, I didn't even think about that, that's awesome, and
Yeah.
then the other one did
Yeah.
that, I was like, okay, no, yeah, I see that, I see that. Or even when you're not agreeing, like I don't know, but I respect where you're coming from, something like that. But there's just so many
Because
different
like
ways.
it's one of those beautiful situations where like it's okay to be wrong.
Yeah,
Like there is no wrong, really,
right, a hundred
because it
percent,
is
a hundred
left
percent.
up to us. Yeah.
Because you get to the end of this game, you have, because this is going to just be out of context. We find the kids doing what seems like a blood ritual, and I say the kids, it's all the kids except for the girl that you can play
Right.
as in the main duo. They're cutting their hand, putting their blood in a little, it's not a bowl but like a container, and then they tie her up and throw her down the well. And you learn that at the beginning of the game, that's what you're seeing, because the beginning of the game is you looking up out of a well and the kids looking down on you. What?
So I did see something online that was like a pretty agreed upon is that in the first scene there's five people looking into the well,
Right.
and at the end there's four people looking into the well.
So no, so what happens when you get to the end of it? There's four, and then the fifth person, it's the rabbit mask, shows up. She's looking down with everybody else because there's
Yeah.
five kids in total.
Right.
The
Right.
girl, and then there's four
And then
dudes.
is that what happens at the end as well?
I don't remember if it happens specifically at the
Okay.
end.
Yeah.
It's
Because
just
at
there is a
the
point.
apparently it was like five in the first looking down the well, and she
Uh,
was one of them, like the rabbit mask. And
right.
then at the end, like where they show them throwing her in,
Mhm.
then it's like them four looking down and she's down there.
Right.
So
Yes.
I don't know what the hell that means
Yeah, I was
anyway.
gonna say
So,
like so the thing
yeah.
that's added, the one cutscene that shows, because we see your body get dropped down the well regardless of what ending you get. It's just you do get a scene where you see all these. I mean, they're the same size as you. They're like children. It's just they look like they're covered in mud. I don't know if like they're literally covered in mud because they've been buried down there, or if like that's their bodies and it's
Or
just
like a
water.
black goo. They look a little demony,
Right,
you
but
know?
they're wearing masks that are
Demonish.
almost exactly the same as the rabbit mask the girl wears. Just seemingly different animals, for sure different shapes. And the one thing I saw on that was like people thinking is like the sacrifices that came before her, which would add credence
Hmm.
to like maybe she was part of those that were being thrown down there, and then it was her time to be thrown there at the end and whatnot. So maybe, and again, see all this, play it and figure out your own thing, man. Like we don't know,
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
know. But what I do know is that sheep goes crazy. It becomes this horrid beast, and it's awesome. It's
And it
so
does come out of her
a
100%.
hundred
Yeah.
percent, 100%.
Yeah. And
Um,
I mean, and it just goes to because we've seen it over and over again. You do like a blood ritual of some sort to
yeah,
like gain power or like bring somebody back from the dead or
mhm.
something like this. And it just goes wrong, man. It
Always.
happens every time. Look at the what are they called? The Ulrich brothers or whatever.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
geez, man. Like people gotta learn. People
People
gotta
gotta
learn.
learn.
Yeah.
But dude, it's so cool. It's just so, and
Yeah.
like other than the fact that we a rabbit's dead.
Oh,
Also,
yeah.
also
Unfortunate.
big shout out because it's Reanimal. Obviously, we do have these grotesque creatures, but there is this. It's not a little pig; he's huge. But you get to comfort him, and I think you get a trophy for it. You go do it. It's very sweet that you get the moment to do that. I love that. And I was like, this is precious. This is precious. Because
Yeah.
like other than that, it's all horror. It's all hell. Like it just keeps
Yeah,
getting
it's messed
worse.
up. It's
Messed
messed
up
up
stuff.
stuff
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely. Um, and again, I cannot stress enough when you start getting to like when you go into literally the trenches, brace yourself. Brace yourself, man.
It
And
gets
I'm not
rough.
obviously we're not talking
Yeah.
about any like hardcore boss or something down there. You're just going to be met with some stuff whether you're like ready for it or not. Like
Hmm.
it's a lot, and it
Yeah.
understandably should be. But yeah, and that is a part that I don't know. Like maybe there's a war ravaging the planet that
Um,
led to this situation being a thing in the first place. I don't know.
I saw a cool thing on it, like why they're going through the war zone and stuff like that. Is that because you're finding the caskets to get the true
Yep.
ending and stuff?
Hmm.
That they're actually dead and that they died or like they were orphans together and stuff. We had that brother and sister, but the rest of them were orphans with them, their
Right.
friends. And like they ended up orphans because there's this war going on.
Mm.
And then they ended up dying in the war. And this is them like living in that purgatory, like going through it over and over again, and why there's demons in the first place and stuff like that. It's really cool. Really
What
cool
I get to
theory.
add on to that is the Kojima moment of, and there's a whale.
And there's a well.
And there's a whale. No cry.
And I also, I'm now crying. And there's also like a lot of stuff that I saw about like just animals being like deities or gods in this
Yeah,
world
for sure.
and stuff, because like there's those little rabbit shrines that you find throughout the game, and you light
Mhm.
candles in front of them. You run into, but you have the whole rabbit situation all throughout. You
Right.
of course has a lot to do with lambs, but we also see the whale that you talk about. We see the bird, which is a very apparently pretty powerful and like messing stuff up.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a lot of like animal imagery and like them being in power, in places of power, like throughout it.
And the
So
innocence of
I
the
mean,
lamb and how that transforms into what it be. I don't know what you call that.
Akira,
Yeah, sure.
yeah,
No, Akira.
it's the end of Akira,
Right.
100%.
Right.
Sorry,
Right.
spoilers for Akira, but
I'm sorry. Sorry, folks. Watch it.
1988, guys, get with it. Okay.
But yeah, man, there's just so many different ways to take it. When you go through it, dude, like we talk about, like there's games that are games and there's games that are an experience, and that's what takes it beyond like being just good. Like that's where you
Yeah,
can get that that area for being great or beyond great. And obviously, gameplay hinders it a little bit, but not enough to where that experience was just like, dude, this was
it's
awesome.
still fun.
It's so
It's still
fun.
fun.
It's very
Yeah,
cool. It's very solid. There was a moment because the spooks that I were ready for that I just was like we're gonna set Ernest up. I was like Ernest just no like took the lead in one part, and I was like, oh, there's gonna be this guy riding down this hill on a tricycle, but it's gonna be all right. And he's
yeah.
like,
He let
oh
me walk
no,
into quite a bit. Yeah.
yeah,
What
yeah, yeah.
the?
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
it's great.
That was
It was great.
I raised my voice quite a few times
And
yesterday. Let's
that's
just say.
what you want. That's what you want
Yeah,
from this.
yeah, no, yeah. That's
It's
what I
so
want
cool.
from like we said before. Like, there's different kinds of horror. There's
Mhm.
different genres within the horror genre,
Right.
definitely. And it's not always those jump scares that we need in every
Yeah.
situation.
You'll still get
But
a couple, but yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
love them. I love them though.
Hell yeah.
And for them to be included here just really added to the game, because those were some of the most exciting things, or being chased or whatever it is. Like, oh man,
Hell yeah.
yeah, gets the blood going,
Yeah.
it gets it pumping.
But obviously, we strongly recommend it. It's so good. I will also shout out the score. Also adds to that atmosphere. There's moments of like, why'd the violin change? Like, what's happening? What's gonna go on?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
Sometimes you
and
get a little
sometimes
heads
nothing
up from
happens,
that
and it's
score.
just like, oh, you bastards knew. Also, there's a whole thing with the sniper, and yeah, they also know what they're doing with that. I didn't realize because you're so invested when the sniper comes at you, like you don't see him coming, but like he makes his presence known. We'll say, you get a trophy for playing the piano.
Really?
Yeah,
Did
but
you have
like
that already? I don't remember us
no,
playing the
no, no,
piano.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
I remember reading it after the fact and be like, man, I didn't think about it because I was so scared of the sniper. And then again, second time through, I was like, oh man, I was too scared of the sniper. It's like too spooked, too spooked, man.
Oh man, especially because like when you initially become aware of the sniper, I just like stood there all
Right,
shocked and like
right.
didn't
And
move, and
then
then I
Ernest
was
gets taken
next.
out. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's
yeah.
beautiful.
So
It's
it was
beautiful. We do
rough.
have some beautiful clips from this, whether it be with me and Ernest or me and Justin. And we'll probably upload those clips on some days here and there. I definitely know because there's one kill that got me that I don't think I should share because it's in that trench. And I feel like that might be a little too much. I don't know. Um,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah, it's like yeah. I mean,
I
I guess
got it.
post
I
a
got
trigger
you.
warning, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But regardless, great game, great game. Very good. We definitely recommend it to all horror fans for sure. And again, if you're not sure about it, if there's anything that can trigger you, look into your trigger warnings here, 100%, just to be safe.
I also recommend it to. I think this is a great couple game, especially
Oh, that's
couples
fair.
that are into horror.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I know sometimes like what one person games and the other person doesn't, but like you get one of those like easy to play through games, or at least like has coachable parts and stuff like that where you can work together. And I think this is great for those.
Hell
So
yeah. Hell
yeah.
yeah. But yeah, man, definitely recommend it. But I do think that wraps us up for this week.
Yeah.
8.5 from both of us. Strong recommendation. Um, we will be back next week, of course. But we will not be back with the Gamecast. We'll be back with the Screencast going over a show we're very, very much enjoying. It's ending this coming weekend, and that is Game of Thrones Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I know. I know. We're going to talk about Dunk and Egg in all of their beautiful, awesome, heartbreaking sometimes glory, and also just hilarious moments. But Ernest, for that, for any of our content, where can the people find us?
So if you'd like to stay up to date with the show, you can find us out here on all these social medias, baby. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, and YouTube. And if you'd like to reach us directly, you can find us at lifeisstorytelling at gmail.com. We appreciate any and all feedback, and we fucking love you.
We love you so much. Thank you all for tuning in, hanging out, and have a great weekend.